What's going on with everybody, man? It is April 9th, Thursday, April 9th, 8:39 a.m. At the time of this recording and or stream. I keep saying recording, which is crazy to me, but I am recording myself, right? But welcome back. We're here for another stream. I'm getting more and more used to doing the streaming platforms and doing all that. Um, my thumbnail looks pretty wild, given that it is like an AI generative version of myself, but you know, I want to be able to get my face on these thumbnails more than anything else, so then people can actually see who's talking about these things, right? And see if people have the likeness to want to come into the stream and just interact, chat, talk about what happened, right? So yesterday we had a couple Champions League games. PSG absolutely toying with Liverpool. And if we can touch on them first before I get into Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, because there was some controversy in that Champions League tie as well with Real Madrid, oh not Real Madrid, with PSG and with PSG and Liverpool. Jesus Christ, I'm all over the place right now. With PSG and Liverpool playing yesterday, Arne Slot, he decided to go with a back five, and it was very interesting because away from home at the Parc des Princes, you don't want to sit back and allow PSG to really dictate the play of the game and dictate the pace, because that's what they were doing. Arne Slot set up in a back five, and that doesn't give you the best chance to win, especially if you're playing against a team that loves to have the ball and that in their movement is next level. There was a lot of talk yesterday about how PSG were able to move without the ball in a way that is very, very scary. Like, they all know where they're supposed to be. They're very fluid in their attack as well. And Travis Shellier, man, is, in my opinion, one of the greatest players in this generation. He is absolutely sensational. The goal he scored yesterday was out of this world, man. Dropping two Liverpool players, just going past them, and it was 27 passes that led to the goal for PSG. And there needs to be a lot of questions asked. Now, Arne Slot probably thought setting up in a back five was the best chance to at least contain the game and give them a chance back at Anfield. They're lucky it wasn't 5 or 6. There's a couple decisions at VAR. One in particular where Kanate, he does foul Due in the box with minimal contact, and he does get the ball. The VAR told the referee to go check it out, but in live time, you're looking at that as a penalty. Everything always looks worse when you take a look at replay and you take a look at the slowdown effects of it, and you slow it down. Kanate does go through Due to get to the ball, but it's very minimal contact, and I can see why it wasn't given as a penalty. But then you go to the second time where Kanate literally shoves the PSG player to the ground, and that's not being looked at by VAR. Liverpool were very fortunate not to get out of there with a heavy scoreline. It could have been 5 or 6. They played worse than Chelsea played when they went to Paris. Chelsea only played bad for 15 minutes when they went to Paris. Now, the game at Stamford Bridge was completely different, right? PSG came there on a mission to absolutely tear us apart, and that's what they did. And PSG right now probably have the idea that they could have scored 5 or 6, and now they got to come to Anfield where the crowd's going to be up for it. This Anfield crowd's not going to allow this Liverpool team to go out quietly. But if PSG score a goal, which I'm backing them to do, the tie is over. The tie is cooked. All it took for Chelsea to lose to PSG was mistakes in the back, and the first goal was scored within 7 or 8 minutes. If PSG score within 10 minutes, I don't see Liverpool having a shot. And I don't think they have a shot now. I think they're cooked. I think they're fried. I think Arne Slot is gone at the end of the season. There's no excuse to be this poor, this bad, right? And there was a lot of talk about the commentary about how, not commentary, about like the talking about it after, how Liverpool were going man for man against PSG. You can't go man for man against a team like that just has fluid movement. You can't do it. when you have players out there like Dembele, who could have had a couple goals yesterday, right? Kvaratskhelia, who I think is one of the greatest left wingers I've seen in the past 5 or 6 years. You have Doué out there. You have Barcola and Vitinha, the little magician in midfield, is absolutely running the show right now. And he just seems so calm on the ball. The ball's glued to his foot. And he's making a case that he's probably the best midfielder in the world right now. Like, he is exceptional. And watching PSG play, I don't like PSG personally, but watching them play, that's how the sport should be played. And when you have a serious manager in charge that knows what he wants out of these players know exactly what to do, because Enrique wants these players to play across all positions on the pitch. Outside of goalkeeper, Luis Enrique wants these players to play across the pitch, any position. And these players are playing for him. And they might go on and win the Champions League again. The only thing stopping them, in my opinion, is Bayern Munich. If they beat Bayern Munich, PSG will repeat as Champions League winners. And there's nobody else really left in this competition that looks better than PSG outside of Bayern Munich. Arsenal don't look like they're better than them. Atletico or Barcelona don't look like they're better than PSG or Bayern Munich. But if we're going to switch over to the Atletico Madrid and Barcelona game, I will say this. Arne Slot will be gone at the end of the season. But if there's a heavy scoreline at Anfield on Tuesday, I think you can see a possibility of him getting sacked in the tunnel. It just depends on what the scoreline is in the return leg. But to go to Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, right? I mean, I predicted Atletico Madrid were going to go through and beat Barcelona over 2 legs, because I think in a knockout style type of like format, Atletico Madrid are a very dangerous team to play against. And when you have the familiarity of playing in the league a few days prior, and I think they've already played about 3 or 4 times already this season. So there's already familiarity with how these teams play against each other. And Atletico Madrid did a job on them yesterday. Barcelona, even with 10 men, were dominating, but you got to put away your chances, right? If you put away at least one of those 8 shots you had in the second half, you're probably going to Madrid down 2-1 with a more favorable chance of coming back in this tie. If Atletico Madrid score in Madrid, it's over. Barcelona are not coming back from 3-0 down. 2-0 is possible, but 3-0, no. But then we talk about the red card, right? Now, in truth, I didn't really get a chance to see the red card at all, honestly, because I was at work. But my coworker, who's a Barcelona fan, he was telling me that Kubarsi got sent off. So I do want to see the clip, honestly. And I appreciate the people on Twitter chiming in, taking a look at the stream I have going on. We're talking about the Champions League first before we get into any of the Chelsea news that has dropped. I want to be able to be more versatile with what I'm talking about, right? Maybe I'm going to have to look on, like, let me see if I can find it. And the music I have in the background is some Pokemon Lo-Fi, bro, from Studio Matcha. You should definitely go check them out. All right. I have it up, so I'm going to go ahead and switch over here real quick. Where are you, buddy? All right, right there. All right, let's go ahead and take a peek at this. So I didn't really see this, so I want to react to it to see if this is really a red card. So apparently, Kubarsi was the last man in this situation. So let's take a look at it. Julian Alvarez has the ball here. I'll be honest. Is that And he had to think about it too. But he originally gives a yellow card here, right? Then he goes to VAR and switches it from a yellow to a red. Now, in reality, if you are the last man in the game at that point, you can't make a challenge like that. You in a sense would have to trust you would have to trust your goalkeeper. You have to trust your goalkeeper in that situation. Now, he's going to be out for the second leg, but I can see why people are saying it's not a red because it does look like he does like put his leg, he leaves his leg dangling a little bit, right? Like the way that I'm seeing this is that he's already on the wrong side, so a challenge has to be made, but it's not that kind of challenge, bro. It's a fantastic ball from Julian Alvarez, though, and the goal he scored, bro. Yeah, I mean, Julian Alvarez is, and he's linked with the move to Barcelona, but Julian Alvarez, Man City let him go. Oh, man. But he kind of does leave his leg trailing a little bit. But when you're the last man, you're always going to be susceptible to getting a red. I mean, we've seen players in the Chelsea team get reds for challenges like that, to be honest with you. So it, it's not surprising. But again, now Barcelona don't have one of their main center halves going into the second leg. Lamine Yamal, though, I mean, he was doing everything he could to get this Barcelona team back in the tie, but with no Rafinha, I mean, you're going to find it very difficult to go to Madrid. And they just went there a few days ago and beat them 2-1. But I just don't see a scenario where in the Champions League, Diego Simeone has a chance to knock out Barcelona at home. I don't see a scenario where they lose that game. Now, a lot of people are saying they don't trust Atletico Madrid. I mean, if Diego Simeone finds a way to get it done, then I think Atletico Madrid will get to the final. Will they win it? I don't know. But Atletico Madrid, if they win this tie, will get in. I think will beat Arsenal in the next round if Arsenal can get past Sporting, and I think Atletico Madrid will be in the Champions League final. But it's very interesting, man. I mean, we got a lot of these next week's ties are going to be very interesting with Bayern Munich going to Madrid and beating Real Madrid 2-1. Madrid just have to get a goal out there, and they're right back in the tie. Even though they're still in the tie, but Bayern could have put them away in the first leg. They had ample opportunities to do that. Michael Elise also, I think the right wing position is set, bro, for the next 10 to 15 years. You got exceptional players coming out in that position. You have Esteval, you have Michael Elise, Yamal, you're set in that position for the next 5, 10, 15 years because those players are exceptional, man. But again, Arsenal going to Sporting, beating them 1-0. They have a chance now to get themselves into the last four of the Champions League. I don't think the game at the Emirates is going to be easy. It wasn't easy in Lisbon. They got the result by the skin of their teeth, bro. And I think it's going to be even more difficult at the Emirates because Sporting will have to sit back and they will have to contain. But can Arsenal be clinical enough? And can it not come from a freaking set piece? Can they find a way to score from open play? We'll see, man. We will see. But yeah, man, the Champions League quarterfinals, first legs are all over now. And to just recap everything, really, the second legs are going to be insane. Every single tie is there to play for, theoretically, even though I think the PSG Liverpool tie is essentially dead and over. The Barcelona Atletico Madrid, you can see Barcelona coming back and equalizing the tie. Real Madrid and Barcelona, I mean, if Real Madrid score first, then I think it's well and truly game on. Sporting, Arsenal, it's like I said, I don't think it's going to be easy. for Arsenal to get the job done. Will they get the job done? We're gonna have to wait until Wednesday of next week to see what's going down with that, man. But it should be interesting to see what happens next week in these ties. But there's a few things on Chelsea I'm going to touch on here. Now, this coming from L'Equipe. if Liam Rosenior doesn't qualify for the Champions League, Chelsea could decide to sack him. I mean, we've known this already. Champions League for the board is an absolute must. Now with fifth spot being guaranteed, a Champions League spot, there's no excuse now for Chelsea to not qualify for the Champions League. So if he doesn't find a way to jump Liverpool right now, with how bad Liverpool are looking and with how distraught the team has looked, you can make the argument that Liverpool are more down and broken than Chelsea are. The only problem with Chelsea is the board. Liverpool have issues up and down the squad in terms of their mentality. They don't trust the manager. Chelsea's players don't trust their manager either. But Arne Slot is a Premier League champion, and he won the Premier League last season. When you set up in a back five, you're basically telling the team, I don't trust your ability to get the result I need. But when you play man for man against PSG, you're going to get torn apart every single time. Liverpool don't have the same personnel they used to have, where they're able to track these players, especially in midfield. You don't have the Fabinhos anymore, bro. You don't even have your Jordan Hendersons in that squad. And I don't think Jordan Henderson is the greatest midfielder ever, but what he did was that he was a work rate monster, right? So he would be able to keep up with the PSG midfield that was dragging Gravenberch all over the place, McAllister all over the place, bro. I mean, this is what I'm saying. They don't have the same mobility in midfield, and they don't have that midfield destroyer anymore. Why did Chelsea play so well against PSG in the Club World Cup final? Because the way they contained their midfield, they didn't allow Vitinha to do anything on the ball. They overloaded on one side of the pitch and forced Nuno Mendes to stay back, and Malo Gusto, Cole Palmer, João Pedro were having so much joy down that right-hand side because the way that PSG play is so aggressive and they play such a high line that if you win the ball in midfield, you're going to be able to counter on them. Liverpool used to be that team that would win the ball high up the pitch and counter on you and score 3 or 4 goals. They don't do that anymore because the way that Arne Slot wants to play a more controlled possession-based style of football, he's not going to sit here and go gung-ho. This is why I have friends that are fans of this team, bro, and they are saying that the way that Arne Slot sets up, it's not fun to watch. Enzo Maresca had a weird way of playing, but I think the difference with Enzo Maresca and Arne Slot is that Enzo Maresca had the players in his team to play the way that he wants. I don't think Florian Wirtz, Alexander Isak were Arne Slot signings. I think those were board signings, and because they were available, Liverpool went after them. So that's just how I see it, man. I mean, like, if they sack Liam Rosenior because of they don't get the Champions League, we've all known this. We've all been made aware of it. So it's not surprising, right? So then we pull over to this tab over here. It says Chelsea's search for a long-term front of shirt sponsor is now underway. The club wants $55 million a year, even if they don't qualify for the Champions League. They will target a deal of $65 million if they qualify. So you qualified for the Champions League last season, but you can't even nail a front of shirt sponsor then. So what makes you think that they're going to do that now? Chelsea will never be serious under this new owners. Yeah, we've heard this for the last 3 seasons and still fuck all. Yeah, you're just dangling the carrot. Vince is today's blue card PO. You got Talk Sport in there. You got Sky. Nini. Yeah, bro. Like, people are catching strays on here, man. I mean, it's the fact that you've had this problem for about 4 years and you still can't get a front of shirt sponsor is absolutely despicable, bro. And then I saw some stuff yesterday, man. Before I get to that point, who's the most underrated player at Chelsea this season? I'd say Enzo, bro. Underrated? Yeah, because he's not getting appreciated enough, and I think he is actually playing very well. I just think people have the agenda because he says some stuff about wanting to live somewhere specific, for one, and two, he has one bad moment or a bad game, we automatically assume he's the worst midfielder that's ever come in the club. That's how Chelsea fans operate, bro. Especially on Twitter, that's how they operate. Like I can scroll down my timeline and I can show you the ridiculousness of some of these people on here, bro. But the most underrated Chelsea player this season, if it's not Enzo, for me, it would probably have to be. I'll be real. I'd probably have to go with. I'll probably go João Pedro, even though he's not underrated this season. I just think that nobody expected him to be this good when he came to the club. I mean, Khan is absolutely right, bro. The Premier League is this season, dude. The Premier League has been poor, right? In terms of having the title race that we were expecting to have, and people were expecting Chelsea to really be near that top of the table, right? The league has been so poor. We had momentum. We just needed the right signings, and we bottled it. You sack your manager, you don't get the players that he wants, completely ruins the morale of the team in the dressing room, and mentally they're in the bin. So yeah, they're gonna sit here and not have the best season. Rank these players: Saka, Palmer, Elise, and Buemo and Shirky. From 5 to 1, Bukayo Saka's 5, bro. He's not having a good season, even though he's injured. He's not having a good season. He hasn't really looked that great this season, man. Honestly, I'll go Palmer at 4 because he's like, it's like I said with Bukayo Saka. I'm doing this based off of form, but if we're going off of how they are, Palmer is above Embuemo, Saka, and you can make the argument that he could be above Elise. But Ryan Shirky is also, I think, a very, very underrated player, bro. Very underrated. Yeah, I saw this yesterday too. I didn't know if it was. I don't know if that's real or not. Yeah, I doubt that's real, bro. Well, I'm happy at my current club, but if Chelsea ever called me and offered the manager job again, why not? I'd take it without thinking twice. I mean, we know you love Chelsea, but I don't think that would be the right move for you, bro. You should stay at Coventry City and really build for and really try to build that, man. The right wing at Spurs really feels cursed this season. Kudu's season's over. Kulusevski's basically been out all season. Odebear's season's over. Johnson has been sold. I mean, what's happened to Spurs is just insane, bro. Genuinely feel for Liam. If this is your blue code is a cancer to football. I mean, I'm glad a PSG page is saying that. At least they know. I mean, PSG should probably know how it is, bro. Because for the longest time, PSG, it wasn't the youth movement for them. It was trying to sign like all the best players in the world because they wanted to be the Galacticos so bad, bro. But they can never get it done. You get somebody in there that brings in the right balance of players in there, you're gonna win some major trophies. But yeah, bro, I do appreciate that. Blueco is a cancer, bro. 4 unbearable who look like they've never kicked a ball or had any involvement at any level of coaching, because I genuinely can't take their opinion seriously, especially Squeaky, bottom left, and the midget. Taking the, I mean,
I've seen, yeah, Blue Car, I've said it 1,000 times. Say it, Blue Car.
Hey, Don, have you said it yet?
I said it the other day. It makes it different. Blue go out.
Say it again.
We say Blue go out, but we got to really mean it.
They're going now. They're going.
And Alexis, what about you?
Alexa, say it, bro. Gun on your head.
Blue go out. Every single one of them out. Let's have it right.
There we go.
Let's have it right, bro. Let's have it right.
I'm saying Blue go out.
I'm trying to figure out
Can we resume if that's okay?
No, I'm just saying, if you haven't said that,
The club can be sold as well, guys. Remember that.
You need to say it now.
I'll be honest, Sean. These guys are actually using their platform to spread the message in the right way. It just sounds like, it just looks like, honestly, bro, you yourself have a lot of insecurities about people using their platform to spread a message about getting this club out of the hands of owners that aren't serious. Like, you're calling people words like that when you've been acting like this, dude, for the better part of 2 or 3 weeks. Acting like a real pansy, if I'm being honest with you, dude. Atletico Madrid has never lost a home game in the knockout stage of a Champions League. Chelsea went there in 2021 and beat them. What are you talking about? I think that game was played, though. It wasn't played in Spain. Yeah, that game wasn't being played in Spain because of COVID. But to say that Atletico Madrid hasn't lost a home game in a knockout home game in the Champions League is a lie, bro. We went there in 2021 and beat them. They were the home team, so... Lampard exit looms. Coventry City lineup shock replacement as Chelsea plot return. Coventry City are preparing for life without Frank Lampard amid growing fears he could return to Chelsea this summer. Coventry have identified John Eustace as a leading candidate with the Derby County boss reportedly keen in a role. Meanwhile, Chelsea are expected to part ways with Lee Rossini, opening the door for a sensational Lampard comeback to Stamford Bridge. Would you guys want to see Frank Lampard back as manager of Chelsea? Anybody watch it on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Restream, or whatever? Would you guys want to see Frank Lampard come back? Like, I'm really trying to gauge, because he didn't have a good second stint as caretaker manager. And when he first came to the club, he was, in my opinion, out of his depth to be managing Chelsea at the time. But he still found a way to get us top 4. He got sacked because of a poor run of results from December into January. But I've been saying that Chelsea have had issues in that Christmas period since I think a couple years after they won the title, bro. They've always had issues in the Christmas period. But would you guys want to see him come back? I mean, that's what I want to know. I think if you're going after him, dude, you can't pay him and make him the highest paid manager in the Premier League. That's not going to work. But the one thing you do have to do is, he's not going to be a yes man. And especially with him being a club legend that he is, if you're going to bring him in, I have a feeling he's going to want to bring in like John Terry to be part of his staff. He's going to get Chelsea heads on his coaching staff, in my opinion. If this is something that is going to happen, is it going to happen? I mean, I doubt it, bro. I think Blue Co are going to keep, I'm not saying Chelsea, I think Blue Co are going to keep Liam Senior even if they don't qualify for the Champions League. I think that's all PR. I think at the end of the day, even though I've said that we all expect that to happen, they could be doing that to continue to mask the issues that are going on at this club. So him being the manager would be insane. Who's the better player, Njai or Morgan Rogers? I'll be real. I think Element Njai is better. Bias aside, delete the most overrated right winger here. I'd say Bukayo Saka, bro. Honestly. Maxime Lacroix has to be the one. He's entering his prime now, turning 27 soon, and he's finally fulfilling the potential everyone saw early at Wolfsburg. One of the best center backs in the league, could easily suffer France, should be a top target for now for Chelsea as well. But bro, you do understand that it's Chelsea we're talking about. It's Bluca. Are they going to go anywhere near him? Like I said, until I see a player holding up the jerseys like this, like I don't need to go grab a jersey, do I, to show you exactly what I need to do, what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Otherwise, I don't believe anything when it comes to that. Enzo Fernandez's agent Javier Pastor says Enzo apologized to everyone at Chelsea for his comments. What happened happened. We explained to the player, even though he hadn't done anything wrong, he shouldn't have said that. He's only 25. He's still young. He still has things to learn. We explained to the club that he said it without malice, that he made a mistake. He naturally apologized to the club, his teammates, the coach, the sporting director, and everyone. We were all on the same page. We simply had to clear up a misunderstanding. So this is coming from his agent. And the source is actually coming from his top Mercado. They have about 200,000 followers on here. Looks like it's a French source as well. So, I mean, we can dive into that, really. I mean, I said Enzo's not stupid. He knows what he was doing, and he knows what he said. Now, to think that he said it without malice, I've said that I don't think he genuinely wants to leave the club, but if he doesn't get the contract that he's looking for and the ambition doesn't match what he wants, then he's going to want to leave. And clubs will be circling for him because he's a 25-year-old midfielder that still has a lot of growing to do in his game and could potentially be a top 10 midfielder in the world one day. But realistically, Real Madrid are not coming in for over 150 million for Enzo Fernandez. That's why Chelsea put the price tag of that on there, because they know no club is going to pay that. If anybody does pay 150 million for Enzo Fernandez, what the fuck are you doing? Right? Like, why are you helping Bluco out by giving them more than what they paid for them? Right? So I don't see a scenario where somebody's paying 150 million. Now, if you're going in for Enzo, I said this in my short yesterday, if you're going in for him, I'm giving you what you paid for him, or I'm going in with 90 million plus add-ons, because I'm not paying over 100 million. Straight up, I'm not doing it. So, the fact that he apologized to the club, his teammates, the coach, the sporting directors, everybody, is a good thing. He wants to clear it up, because honestly, man, I don't think he wants to leave. I have an idea. I have the idea that he's doing this for the contract. He's doing this to get improved terms because he feels like he deserves the pay raise that he has been asking for, and he does. He's this season. He's been better than Moises Caicedo, guys. He really has. Caicedo has dropped off significantly since he got sent off against Arsenal, and not a lot of people are talking about that, man. Not a lot of people are. You would think the bigger personalities on Twitter and YouTube would speak about how Caicedo has been missing since then, and same with Palmer. Palmer's been missing all season. And I keep saying Cole Palmer is my favorite player on the team. I speak about Enzo a lot, but the reason why we speak about Enzo is because he's been speaking so much. Cole Palmer doesn't speak to the media like that. But when you hear reports that he's feeling uneasy at Chelsea because, the injuries and the ambition at the club, and he's not feeling comfortable with the manager's tactics and stuff, then yeah, he's going to want to move away. Players like that have world-class potential in them are going to want to go to a club that is serious. So this is why you're seeing people like Enzo have their head turned. Cucurella has their head turned. Palmer low-key has his head turned, right? Like, you don't think teams will come in for Esteval in 3 or 4 seasons? Real Madrid, Barcelona, you don't think they would be coming in for him? This is why this club needs to start taking this shit serious. You want to keep your best players at the club for 5, 6 seasons, 7 seasons, 8 seasons, or really build a dynasty type style team with them where you have the team for 10, 11 years in the same squad setup, and you're winning 4 or 5 Premier Leagues. You're winning a couple Champions League titles. You're racking up all the FA Cups and the Carabao Cups. Like, this is what this team should be doing. And when you've been building a team now for 4 seasons and you're still in the same position, where's the progress at? So you see why players are going to want out. So, yeah, I'm glad that he's able to hold himself accountable. His agent is obviously going to be a spokesperson for him, because if he speaks, everything is going to be taken the wrong way. It just will. Caicedo, Enzo, and Lavia is smoking this. I mean, with Patiño, Zaire Emery, and João Neves, I mean, I don't know, man. That's a great midfield right now, bro. Vocês. That's crazy, bro. Which current Chelsea player is making this squad? On current form? I guess if you're gonna say which current Chelsea player, if they're not injured, I'd put Reece James at right back. I think your midfield is solid. You don't need to make any changes there. Your wingers are fantastic. You have a great center forward, a solid center half pairing, the greatest goalkeeper in the Premier League. I guess you can change your fullbacks, but even then, like, are you really going to change your fullbacks in this? I mean, this team was great, bro. Absolutely sensational. So no, I don't think I'm making any changes really. Maybe outside of Reece James. Premier League Man of the Match awards. Eden Hazard, 7 years at Chelsea, 62 Man of the Match awards. Salah, 9 years at Liverpool, 48. Thierry Henry, 8 years, 47. Interesting. But yeah, man, how's everyone doing today? Got a lot of stuff going on later on today. Have to go to work today, but it's almost my daughter's birthday, which I'm very excited for. We're going down to LA, Anaheim for her birthday and stuff, so it's gonna be pretty fun for that. Raul Asensio, when asked why he's not playing anymore, you should ask Arbeloa. His performance dropped plays like Prime Maguire. Harry Maguire's having a good season, bro. Paul Merson predicts 1-1. Chelsea are on a poor run of form at the moment. This is a tough game, but I don't expect him to get beat here. Man City are drawing too many games in the league, and Chelsea is not an easy fixture for them. Yeah, but they came to us last season and beat us 2-0 at the start of the season, bro. Right? I mean, if I'm going to the Premier League website, I mean, haven't Man City been in form lately? In terms of, I don't know about, I think the league suggests otherwise, but yeah, they haven't lost in 5. But they have drawn 2 games in a row. They've drawn to Leeds and West Ham. They beat Fulham, they beat Newcastle, and they beat Leeds away. I'll be honest. Man City, now them dropping the 2 points, them dropping the 2 games though is very crucial. But that game against Arsenal is everything. If they come to the bridge and they beat Chelsea, then they still have that game in hand as well. They can potentially be 3 points back, because I think they beat Arsenal at the Etihad, right? Then I think they beat Burnley. I mean, the Chelsea game, Chelsea need to get 3 points there. Like, I'm not going to say Man City are going to come there and beat us, but is it possible? Yes, because Man City, we haven't beat Man City really, I think, since the Champions League final in 2021. Unless I forgot a score line that we played against them recently, but I'm gonna be real. I'm pretty good with my memory when it comes to Chelsea games and stuff like that, especially score lines. Everton away is not going to be easy, in my opinion. I think that's going to be a tough game for them. Brentford, who are looking to get into Europe, that's not going to be an easy game. And Brentford generally play Man City tough at the Etihad too. Bournemouth away, that's not going to be. I mean, Bournemouth are an interesting are an interesting team. They can either push on for Europe or stay at in mid-table. But then again, Man City, I think by that point will have already known if they're still in the title race. So we don't know. But if they are in the title race still and they're 2 points back going into the final game of the season, that Aston Villa game, could history repeat itself when Aston Villa went there? I think it was 2022-23 when they won the treble or something like that. And they came back. They were down 2-0 to Aston Villa and scored 3 goals to win the league. Is that possible again? I mean, we'll see, man. I would really hate if Arsenal win the league, but I mean, they would deserve it just given the point gap right now, not because they're actually playing well. I don't think Arsenal are playing well at all right now. But if we look at the table, right? I mean, it suggests that the game in hand for Man City is Burnley. If they'll beat Burnley, they'll be 6 points back, right? But then they play us, and it's like, you know, I don't know which Chelsea team shows up in this game, but if they show up, then I think Chelsea have a shot. But even then, is their best shot good enough to beat Man City? I don't know. I don't know. So, they haven't lost in 5. Arsenal haven't lost in 5 in the league too. But I just think Arsenal are not playing as well as the form is telling you. Right? Because if we're doing that, right, like form would suggest that Man United, even though they've won 3 out of 5, they've won 1 in 3, right? But they're not playing bad. Like, they're not playing bad at all. There's a reason why there's a 7-point gap between us and Man United right now. And beating Man City would be everything. And then going to the Man United game, it's like, if you pick up 3 points, you could possibly be 2-3 points back of them still. So yeah, I can feel optimistic a little bit, because if they find a way to get a result, then there is a different outlook on this season. The next 2 weeks against the Manchester clubs are going to tell us everything about this team, whether or not, how bad do they want to get into the Champions League. They're at the crossroads of their season, bro, and they've been at the crossroads really for the past 2-3 months. How serious is Chelsea about getting into the Champions League? Because 5th spot will get you into the Champions League. They're a point back, right? But Brentford are 3 points back of Liverpool. Everton are 3 points back of Liverpool, right? Fulham are what, 5 points back? And we're 4 points above them. We're 5 points above Brighton, 5 points above Sunderland, 6 points. I mean, Chelsea with a couple bad results could end up in 13th. So yeah, it's absolutely everything, bro. Absolutely everything. Like, and Bournemouth have drawn 5 straight games, man. Brighton have won 4 or 5 in the league, bro. I mean, Everton absolutely ripped us up, but they're a difficult team to play against. So is Brentford, bro. I mean, this Champions League race now, that 5th spot is guaranteed a Champions League spot, is going to be very interesting. I want to know in the comments, bro. Who do you think grabs 5th spot between Liverpool, Chelsea, Brentford, not Aston Villa, Liverpool, Chelsea, Brentford, Everton, and I'll even throw a Fulham in there. Who do you think out of those 5 teams gets 5th spot? But we'll see what happens. Again, guys, I appreciate everyone watching. If you guys can like, share, sub, do what you all could do, yeah, I would really appreciate it. I stream just about every morning before I go to work, just going over what's going here in the world of Twitter. Chelsea News, Champions League talk, football talk. It doesn't really matter. I talk about it all. I just give my unfiltered opinion about everything. If you guys appreciate the opinion, just let me know in the comments and all that. Can I name the missing player? It's Mason Mount, the guy that got the assist. This team was not bad. Why didn't we win the UCL? Because we weren't in it. I can't think of one Premier League player that gets into the PSG or Bayern Munich starting 11s with their style of football movement and individual ball manipulation. Be objective, no gas, no idea if any do. Gets into their starting 11s? I'll be honest. He might be right on that because I don't know. Right? We all saw Bayern unable to break down an incredible Arsenal defense. Rice then overpowered the midfield in the second half, and Arsenal won comfortably. Although he doesn't get into the PSG's midfield, but Rodri does. Gabriel and Saliba are levels above Pacho, Marquinhos, etc. Bro, Bayern Munich right now, that game was in the league phase, but Bayern Munich also in that game were getting chances. They just weren't clinical. And you're not saying that often about Bayern Munich, especially when you have Harry Kane inside and Michael Olise in that side and Luis Diaz in that side too. I mean, you expect clinical finishes every time. But right now, Bayern Munich would absolutely destroy Arsenal. Absolutely destroy them. It wouldn't even be a close game, in my opinion, right now. I mean, there's not a lot of players in the Premier League right now that get into their starting 11. I actually agree with that. You have $100 million to build your midfield trio. I'm gonna rock with the Chelsea boys, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Maybe if I'm gonna go in the 30 million category, I might go Pedri and Caicedo with Palmer. But honestly, if I had to be different, right? If I had to go like with my second option, I would go. I'd go Rodri, Declan Rice, and probably Jude Bellingham. That's what I would do as my second choice because I'm gonna go with the Chelsea boys every time. Let's do this. Which team wins for you? Jose Mourinho or Pep Guardiola's team? So it's Petr Cech. So it's his best 11 versus Pep's best 11. Cech, Zanetti, Ramos, John Terry, Ashley Cole, Frank Lampard, Mesut Ozil, Wesley Sneijder, Ronaldo, Drogba, and Hazard. Bro, that's a crazy front line. Then for Jose Mourinho, Thierry Henry, Lewandowski, Messi, Iniesta, Busquets, De Bruyne, Xavi, Ruben Diaz, Puyol, Alves, and Neuer. I think Mourinho's team would just be that Pep team. I think the midfield that Pep has is unreal, but I think the back line that Jose Mourinho has and the goalkeeper, I think is the main difference in this team. Because the front lines that Chelsea, not Chelsea, that Jose Mourinho has and Pep has, yeah, I mean, they essentially cancel each other out. Ronaldo cancels out Messi, Hazard would cancel out Henry, Drogba would cancel out cancel Lewandowski. Even though Barcelona is a cancer, bro. I ain't gonna lie. These are my top 5 favorites in order to win the Ballon d'Or. Harry Kane, Lamine Yamal, Olise, Mbappe, and Dembele starting in 2026. I'll be honest. I've been saying for the longest time Harry Kane is going to win the Ballon d'Or this season. He's going to win the 2026 award, bro. He's having an exceptional season. And he had one moment, I think it was a couple days ago, where after Real Madrid scored their goal, he immediately almost equalizes it on a fantastic turn and finish. That if that would have found the back of the net, that for me would have rubber stamped him winning the Ballon d'Or. It's finishes like those that just make you scratch your head. It's like you can't be that good, bro. And he is that good. I mean, I think England have a shot to win the World Cup, even though I don't think they will. My World Cup final right now, I have Brazil versus England in the final, but I think Brazil beat them. That's just what I'm going off of now. Now, my prediction could change, obviously, because I want to see what players are being sent to their national teams for this tournament. Because Brazil have a good squad, France have a good squad, Spain have a fantastic squad, Portugal have a deep squad, England have a good squad, right? I'm American, right? The U.S. has a mediocre squad. If I'm being real, when you're losing to the Portuguese B team and you're losing to the Belgian B team and you're putting out your best 11, the U.S. have no shot of progressing past the round of 16. I'm gonna keep it a buck. They're not progressing. Would you slot flip Jorgensen for James Trafford? Go give me an experienced elite goalkeeper, bro. I'm tired of these young goalkeepers. Chelsea fans chat me. Rate the whole defense from 1 to 10. Let's see what this club takes us to. If I'm rating individual players, Wesley Fofana is a 3. I'm sorry. I just don't rate the guy at all. Levi Colwell is our best center half being pictured here. He is. When he's fit, he's the best one available. And supposedly he's back ready for selection. So we'll see if that's true. Because I feel like we do need him back. Players who should leave Chelsea in the summer. Benoit Badiashile, Tosin, Fofana, like I just said, can't be here anymore. Garnacho, Pedro Neto. I mean, Pedro Neto is one of the players with Premier League experience, but he was also he played better under a certain manager, yeah, but he's also just not what the team needs, in my opinion. I think if you're gonna go get experience, you get a different profile winger. And he isn't consistent. Liam Delap, even as a backup or second striker, Delap is not good enough for Chelsea as backup striker that can't score 10 goals in all competition. This is bad. He is bad. The pressure in Chelsea is too much for him. Yeah. And if Ipswich get promoted, I think he's going to try to find a way to go back to Ipswich, which I think is the best thing for him. I don't know if people saw this yesterday, but apparently Enzo Maresca on his WhatsApp profile picture, whatever it is, stay true to your principles and don't sacrifice quality for profit. It has to be referring to the idea that Enzo Fernandez could be sold. And that was one of his key players. So I agree. Don't sell Enzo for fucking profit, bro. There's no point. Who would you rather replace Liam Rosenior if he gets sacked? I'm going with Cesc Fabregas, bro. Probably one of the worst ways ever to concede a goal. That's actually crazy. Caught slipping, bro. You got caught slipping, man. 2 seasons we had him on our list, and we would have gotten him without any competition. Pray we make it to UCL first. Chelsea is won by Arsenal, Man United, and Chelsea, with Aston Villa's valuation likely exceeding 80 million. I mean, yeah. He's an English player making a move within the Premier League. So yeah, that's gonna be an expensive transfer to have happen. With his age, the nationality, and the league he's playing in, and is possibly an English international as well, you're going to be paying close to an 80 to 90 million to get him out of there. And will Chelsea pay that kind of money for him? Like I said, you're sacrificing a player if you're bringing in a Morgan Rogers. And to be quite honest, if you're gonna sell Liam Delap, sell him. Go get Morgan Rogers. Bring back a Nicholas Jackson. Then you have Palmer in, and you can even play Morgan Rogers off the left if you really want to. If you don't want to go get an established left winger, you can put Morgan Rogers on the left if you really want to. Even though he's better in the middle of the pitch, he hasn't been playing well, and you're wondering like where his head's really at. If it's at Aston Villa or if it's away. Portugal. Losing 2-0 against Atletico Madrid in your backyard. We're about to see the most criminal defense of all time in the second leg. Barcelona are cooked. Yeah, bro. Diego Simeone is going to find a way to make this game incredibly ugly, bro. And, like, I'm here for it. Like, he should be trying to make this shit ugly. So, also, I'm probably going to be streaming for another about 15 minutes or so, and then I got to get ready for work. But I'm going to go piss real quick, guys. Be right back. All right, guys, we are back. That's what happens when you drink freaking energy drinks in the morning. You gotta piss like crazy. But I mean, like I said, I'm probably gonna be streaming for about 15 more minutes. We're just gonna be going through Twitter, seeing what we can find and talk about here. But in the beginning of the stream, we talked about the Champions League. Atletico Madrid beat Barcelona 2-0 at the Nou Camp. I believe that was actually Atletico Madrid's first win at the Nou Camp in like 20 years, which is insane, right? You would have think at least once they would have went there and won, but they haven't gone there and won there in 20 years. So a huge big up to Atletico Madrid and and their team going to the La Liga leaders and beating them in their backyard. Atletico Madrid are very dangerous going forward. I think they're one of the more underrated teams going forward in Europe, honestly. They're synonymous with strong defensive performances, but going forward, I think they're incredibly underrated. And PSG absolutely ripped up Liverpool in Paris, but the scoreline doesn't show that. But PSG could have had 6 or 7 goals, and it would have been a disgusting scoreline to take back to Anfield. And Arne Slot may have not made it on the plane to go back to Liverpool. So I think they're cooked. I think it's over with. PSG score a goal at Anfield, it's over. Real Madrid lose to Bayern Munich 2-1. Real Madrid were poor, but getting that goal late into the second half, I think gives them a bit of a confidence boost, a bit of a mental boost, and we don't know what'll happen if Real Madrid score first in Munich. Then I think it's game on, and I think it's all but certain to go to extra time, honestly. But if Bayern score first, I think it's going to be one goal after another after that. I think it's going to be an ugly scoreline if Bayern Munich score first. But then we move to Sporting and Arsenal. Arsenal, in my opinion, are going to find it very difficult to get the result over the line at the Emirates. I said they would lose to Sporting 2-0, and Sporting could have taken the lead multiple times in the first half. Arsenal are so reliant on set pieces to get them goals. It's not surprising that their goal came from a set piece. But at the same time, when you have that much quality in your team, there's no excuse not to have goals from open play, especially when you have creators like Martin Odegaard, you have players out there like Martinelli, you have Gabriel out there, you have Havertz out there, you have Trossard out there, right? Zubamendi is a great defensive midfielder with great vision and can read the game and pick out the right passes. But Martin Odegaard needs to actually show up, bro. He's the club captain, and it's despicable how he is playing. With the World Cup coming up, maybe he has an eye on the World Cup. I don't know. But he needs to figure it out for Arsenal's sake. Holy shit. Holy fuck. This is where in LA? Holy shit, dude. I know it's not fucking football, soccer related, but holy shit, man. I mean, obviously he ain't here no more. God damn. Cole Palmer, 109 appearances, 46 goals, 21 assists, 10 trophies. Mesut Ozil, 352 appearances, 44 goals, 74 assists, 11 trophies. Is this for his career? I mean, only for Arsenal. That's Arsenal? Okay. I was gonna say I think he did score more goals than that, honestly. Ozil was such a underrated player, bro. A great player too. I loved him at Madrid, honestly. Like I said, bro, I'm gonna reiterate this, man. This right here, if people remember this game, do you understand how great we were during this stretch of the season? Mentality and fight and shit, bro. The team that we just saw right there had the mentality and the bite to go get the result, man. Strike partnership. You would have had a better strike partnership with Nicholas Jackson and João Pedro than you do with Liam Delap and João Pedro, bro. Chelsea beat them, bro. The day Esteval destroyed Barcelona in the Champions League. We could have won this game like 6-7-0, bro. The kid is just different, dude. Like, he's so direct and he's so chaotic that realistically, like, he's a risk taker, bro. And that's what this team needs. This might be this is the goal. He's different, bro. Yeah. Best 3 performances this season from a winger: Elise versus Real Madrid, Yamal versus Atletico Madrid, and Doku versus Liverpool. I think this is one of the great performances from a winger this season, honestly. But yeah, can we talk about him? He is such a good player, bro. He's great, bro. He's a maverick. That's what you need in your team, man. Gun to your head, who are you bringing back? Out of these four, I'll be real. I'd probably bring back Havertz. That's just me. Deco. We all know who that is. Between these two, who would be the better summer signing? Kvaratskhelia or Julian Alvarez? Kvaratskhelia, bro. That would be the elite signing at the wing position you would need. And I'd be here for it. If they are serious about that, I would be all here for that. Go get them. No, I don't think he's going to play against Man City. I still think he's going to serve the ban. Because I think by now you would probably hear something about him being available for the game. But then again, you never know. Maybe they will change their mind. But if he does become available, I'm here for it. Yeah, I remember this. It was it was a handball, bro. I don't care. But yeah, with that being said, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I got some work that I have to go to today. I appreciate the people watching on Twitter, the people watching on Restream, people watching on Twitch, people watching on YouTube. I appreciate all the support. Again, a few questions to ask people. Do you think that Liverpool will find a way to come back in this tie, or do you guys think that it's over? Who else do you guys think is gonna? What else do you guys think will happen in the Champions League next week? Are we gonna see epic turnarounds and ties? Are we gonna see the teams that have the lead now move on? Let me know in the comments. Let me know on Twitter, on YouTube, Twitch, wherever you guys are watching me on. I appreciate all of the love and support. I have my handles on the bottom scrolling through. I'll have shorts uploaded throughout the day from this stream in case anybody missed it. For the Man City preview, I'm going to probably do that tomorrow, maybe Saturday. I'll let you guys know. But the Man City preview, be on the lookout for that. Can Chelsea find a way to get 3 points against Man City, or will they capitulate to Man City's possible late title charge at the end of the season? We will see. We will talk about that when we get to that point. But again, appreciate everyone watching. I'm going to get out of here. I love you all. Peace and love. Stay up. Keep the blue flag flying high. Blue Co out. Clear Lake out. Get the fuck out of my club. Get the fuck out of this club. Ain't nobody need to be using this club as a private equity account at the end of the day. But yeah, I'm out of here. Peace. I'll see you guys soon.